I don't even know. Can y'all see me okay? And hear me okay? That's the real question. The fucking Rona virus, she got me again, man. She got me again. Anyway, hi guys, what is up? It is Hunter. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I feel like shit. And I didn't get to go back to work today, so that's awesome. I look disgusting, and I can't breathe, and I can't stop coughing. So, honestly guys, I tested positive for COVID on Tuesday, but I started not feeling good at all on Monday, and I'm filming this literally the day that I'm supposed to post. But I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys, I did not have any energy at all, like, the last 2 days. I, no joke, have spent my days with my ass on the couch, and like, I still don't have any energy, honestly, but I needed to film a video, and I don't have enough energy to like get up and like do something, because I was like, oh, I'll do like a baking video or a cooking video or something, and I woke up this morning with the intention to do that, and I'm so tired that I just want to go to bed, so we're not gonna do that. I've had COVID 3 times now. 3. And I have all my vaccines, and you should still get your vaccines. I'm not saying this to tell you to not get your vaccine. The first 2 times I got COVID, absolutely, like, they took me out. They took me out, bro. They took me out. The first time, almost wound up in the hospital. I almost went, and then I didn't. And then the second time, well, that time was before we even knew that COVID was a thing. Like, I was still in college, and we didn't know, because like it was back in January before we went on lockdown. So like, I got really sick in January, and then that March or April or whenever it was when we went into lockdown. So I like went to the doctor. I got tested for strep, I got tested for the flu, I got tested for pneumonia, and at first they were like, oh, like, you don't have the flu, but like you're experiencing flu symptoms, so your test just like could just be negative, or false negative. So they sent me home and was like, just get rest, drink lots of water, blah blah blah, you know, all the stuff that they tell you. And then that night I like couldn't breathe. Like, I have never felt so sick in my life. Like, I thought I was gonna die, and I'm not just like over exaggerating. Like, I genuinely thought I was gonna die. I told my grandma, and my grandma was like, okay, well, like, we'll go to the hospital. So we're gonna go, and my aunt's a nurse, and my aunt was like, no, like, don't take her to the hospital, because see how she feels in the morning. So the next morning, I still feel like shit, and I go back to the doctor, and the doctor was like, okay, like, we'll test you again, and I didn't have the flu, I didn't have strep, and they were like, okay, like, you have pneumonia. So I got put on like oxygen and stuff, and they were like, yeah, just, you have pneumonia, that's it. Like, that could make sense. Like, I've never had pneumonia before, but like, my mom has, and my mom was in the hospital for it, and I was like, okay, like, that could make sense. And like, I was like crying like all the time. Like, I felt so sick, and I have never felt so sick in my life, like, to this day. And I get sick all the time. Like, my immune system is garbage, so like, I get sick all the time, and I'm used to getting sick, and I just was like, oh my god, like, I'm gonna die. And I was like 5 hours away from my mom, and I would be FaceTiming my mom, being like, mom, like, I don't feel good, I feel like I'm gonna die, I need you to come see me. And like, my mom literally almost drove to Ohio to come and see me and to be with me. I was staying with my grandparents, because I don't know, they always take care of me when I don't feel good when I was in college. And I didn't end up going to the hospital, because honestly I don't really know why, but I didn't. But actually, funny story, I went to class, like those first days of classes, and I showed up to class in a blanket and like sweatpants and a hoodie. And mind you, it was August. And like Ohio's cold, but even in August, it's not like blanket, sweatshirt, sweatpants type of weather. And I was like falling asleep. My teacher, who like I love, shout out to Dr. Bruick, like he's the GOAT, but like he was making fun of me so bad, and I just was like, bro, like I don't feel well, like I don't feel good, I don't know what to tell you, I just don't feel well. Then like when I went to the doctor, he was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry for making fun of you. I didn't go back to school for like 2 weeks because I was so sick. The doctors didn't know what was wrong with me. They said that themselves. And then like 2 or 3 months later, COVID came about and all the symptoms was exactly what I had. And like, it was a whole thing. So that was my first COVID horror story. And my second COVID horror story was I had just gotten to North Carolina. My mom and I drove to North Carolina, and like I had a cough. Like I had a cough for like 3 days, but I kept testing myself for COVID before we went to the beach because one of our like really good friends almost died from COVID, like was in a coma and everything. And so like out of, you know, I don't want to get anyone sick, so I kept testing, and I tested again right before we left, and it was negative. And I was like, okay, cool. I was like, it's just a cough. Like, maybe I have bronchitis or something. Like, that's what I thought because, I mean, I get bronchitis every year. So I was like, oh, like, I just have bronchitis. It's fine. We finally get there. It's like 11:30 at night or whatever. And I'm talking to Donovan on the phone. And he's like, I don't feel good at all. Like, I saw him that day, and he just thought, like, he was getting a cold or something. And like later that night, I guess when we were on the phone, he was like, I don't feel good, I have a fever. So when he tested for COVID, and he was like, Hunter, like I have COVID. And I was like, oh shit. Well, you know, I tested negative all these times, but I'll go get a test in the morning just to make sure. Because, you know, I was like, oh, it's fine. Like, you know, I tested negative all these times, but we'll go get one and test again now that I know that you're COVID positive. So anyway, I go in and I tell my mom that he tested positive. And my mom's like freaking out and she feels so bad. So when we go get a test, and like I take the test in the car, and no joke, within like 5 seconds, it turns positive. Like usually you have to wait like 10 minutes, but this thing, it turned positive like in 5 seconds. So then I took another one just to make sure, and it also came positive in 5 seconds. And my mom took one and she was fine. So I'm like packing up my stuff. My mom's packing up her stuff. Like she's crying, she feels so bad, and like she doesn't want to leave. And so I was like, Mom, like it's fine, like I'll just go home, like you tested negative, you're good. So my mom drove me halfway, and then my dad came and picked me up and drove me the rest of the way home. I literally had to leave right as soon as I got there, and I was so upset about it. Like I cried in the car. So I get home, and like then I start feeling like absolute dog shit. Like I feel so bad. I had a fever, and like I couldn't breathe again, and like exactly how it was before, but like I'm at home now. So I'm not gonna tell the whole story because like it's exactly how I felt before. My dad and I went to a concert on Friday. Like if you guys saw from my last vlog, I went to see Guns N' Roses, which was so fun, and my dad felt totally fine on Friday. And then on Saturday we went to get paint. And like Saturday he was like, you know, like I like am not feeling good, but he's been having like these dizzy spells. So I was like, oh, okay. So I took him home. Whatever, everything was fine. And then on Sunday he called me, or he texted me, and he was like, I tested positive for COVID, and he sent me like his test or whatever, and I was like, oh crap. So then I tested and it came back negative. And I felt fine. Like I felt totally fine. And then on Monday I tested again just to see, and it came back negative. And then Monday night I started not feeling good. Like I got a cough, like a really like deep dry cough, which still kind of happens now, but it's not as bad. I'll test again tomorrow just to make sure, because I was supposed to go back to work today. I woke up on Tuesday and I didn't sleep. Like I did not sleep good. Like I was coughing, I had the chills, like, my body hurt so bad, and like I had a fever. So I woke up and I took a test and it was positive. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me, bro. So I have had COVID since Tuesday. And today I had a fever again last night, but then it broke. I feel like for me this time, like the worst symptoms were like my cough, the chills. Like I was freezing, guys, like so cold. Like I would try and take showers to like literally warm myself up because I was so cold. But then like the water would hurt my body, which doesn't make sense, and I know that. And I would also get really tired, so I could only take showers for like 5. And the fatigue, like those are my worst symptoms. They say this time around it's more like a sinus infection, but I don't know. I feel like I've had all the symptoms, just not as bad as I did before. This turned into a 20-minute video of me talking about my COVID experiences. So I've, like I said, had no energy to do anything. I've literally been laying on the couch watching Netflix and movies. I am not allowed to go back to work until I'm fever-free for 24 hours, and my fever seems to come and go. Those are the stories about how I almost died from COVID and my COVID experience thus far this time. And now I'm very tired, and I have therapy in 53 minutes. So I'm gonna try and take a quick nap before I have to do that. I'm sorry that this video was kind of lame, guys. I have no energy and I needed to post something. And I mean, it was kind of fun to like talk about my COVID experience. If you've had COVID, okay, the 2 things I want you guys to comment are TV show or movie recommendations. And also if you've had COVID, what was your experience like? Because mine having COVID is hell, and it's awful, and it's the most sick I've ever felt in my entire life. But I want to know what your guys' experience was like. If you guys liked today's video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up and hit the subscribe button down below. And hopefully the next time I see you, I won't be struggling. I love you guys so much. You are loved and you are never alone, and I will see you on Sunday. Please wash your hands because COVID's spreading around again like wildfire. So